Welcome to the 8th part of my series on how I develop my military faction and build a military base. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, I highly recommend watching them and then come back to watching this video. You're on the Johny Play channel. Here we go. First of all, it is worth mentioning that the last series ended with a terrible battle of my colonists against bugs that appeared in our warehouse. Therefore, it is worth making sure that all my colonists are safe and sound. I also continued to build the outer wall of our colony and at the same time cleaned our premises from the traces of the meat grinder. And then suddenly the frosts hit. I immediately ordered my colonists to collect all the crops of my devil strand because from hour to hour there will be nothing left from my plants that have been growing lots of days. The cold was so terrible that one of my colonists almost got the maximum level of hypothermia, but at the last moment he was able to get to the room and warm up. My colonists, as usual, did not share something and started a fight. In fact, I can no longer watch them constantly break very valuable armor that I spend too many resources on. Finally, I researched TVs and now I can build one in the recreation room, and to make my colonists comfortable to watch this TV, I put 3 upholstered fabric chairs. I also decided to gradually rearm my colonists so that they all have fairly strong weapons. At the moment, a 7.62 caliber assault rifle would be ideal. Also, the frosts are over and my colonists can go outside again without fear of dying from hypothermia. Meanwhile, the construction of the wall is in full swing. We are slowly building our wall, which will serve as additional protection for our colony in the future. Due to the fact that all crops and all vegetation in general died due to frosts, my bumalops have nothing to eat at all. It's good that I made a relatively large supply of hay, which will now be able to feed my animals for a while and hope that it will be enough for the new period of plant growth. I had the idea to build a volley fire system in the upper right corner of our base so that it could destroy raiders who will go from that side, because according to my statistics, a really large number of raids start from the right corner of our map. And by the way, I ordered the colonists to start crafting 20 advanced components because I have some plans that require a lot of advanced components. I started to mine the deposits of steels that are in the mountain in the upper part of our base because my expenses are getting much bigger and we need to somehow restore our resource reserves. By the way, I fed my bumalops again and realized that in general, my hay reserves may be enough until the beginning of the plant growth season. And I was just distracted when another fight started between my colonists, which fortunately ended even faster than usual. Remembering the experience we gained during the last beetle attack, I realized that a pretty good solution would be to build a wall with embrasures in the middle of the warehouse so that you could fire at the beetles without fear of being instantly injured, because for some time they will be restrained by a strong wall. I decided to gradually switch to composite helmets and body armor because they are much better than the normal steel counterparts, and also I will use them instead of futuristic Imperial armor due to the fact that Imperial armor is too expensive to craft. The last few nights there is really not enough energy and I decided that it is necessary to build 3 additional solar panels in order to at least somehow increase the energy production for our base, because this is a very important thing. For example, without energy, our entire defense system in the form of automatic turrets will simply be turned off. Also, a caravan came to my map, to which I sold all the bumalops and left only one couple that will continue to give offspring. After some time, the solar panels were built and now I hope that at least for a little while we will not have problems with electricity. We were attacked by 27 raiders, and I understood very well that it was necessary to destroy them on the approaches, because my guests simply will not allow us to conduct an active defense and will simply throw themselves under my bullets. To solve this problem, I used my mortar, which was able to destroy a few enemies with a few well-hit shots and provoke them to attack, and after that my colonists got down to business, shooting at the raiders from my stationary grenade launcher, and after firing several well-hit rounds at the enemy, we did find the enemy fleas. One of my colonists decided to scatter a bit and shoot at the unfinished raiders, but eventually he got bored and went back to the base, leaving about 10 raiders to die in agony from their wounds. A hungry bear started hunting one of my colonists. Immediately the predator received a shot that slowed it down a bit, which gave my colonist the opportunity to retreat closer to his friends. Just at this time, another fighter received a call for help and was already preparing to open fire on the bear, and in the end the majestic monster was knocked to the ground by a volley from an assault rifle. Something happened that I did not expect at all. Meteorites fell from the sky and delivered us a lot of components, steel and silver, that we must extract. On the way to the mines, my colonist was attacked by another beast of prey, which was knocked down by one good shot at close range. After that, my colonists started mining resources, and in just a few events, they managed to cope with this pile of useful materials. And finally, I decided that it was time to correct some of the flaws of my colonists. The fact is that some of my colonists were missing certain body parts, and I decided that it would be good to make bionic prostheses for them. I need to craft 2 arms, an eye and a stomach. Hopefully it won't take too long. And by the way, I started a jaw prosthetic operation on one of my colonists so that he could talk and eat like a normal healthy person. We took on the task of protecting the fallen Imperial shuttle and asked for a prestigious Marine's helmet as a reward. I didn't really understand how many raiders would eventually come to my map, but it was immediately obvious that the Imperials were simply terribly armed, so I sent 3 of my fighters to help them. In the end, we were attacked by 12 raiders, and we were very lucky that they did not have firearms. In general, my fighters and Imperials did very well and no one even died. Only one Imperial was wounded by the fire breath of one of the raiders. I, in turn, captured one of the raiders to cut out his right kidney and transplant it to my colonist who was missing it. The operation was successful. We took the kidney from the raider and easily transplanted it to my colonist, who will now be able to live a full life. By the way, my little colonist has reached the age of 7 and now we can choose a certain trait for him. I chose incredible beauty. I hope it will help him in later life. A cargo elephant came on the map, which had a lot of good resources, and I ordered one of the colonists to teach our boy to hunt. First, a small colonist practiced on our prisoner, whose kidney we stole, and after that, together with our soldiers, they were able to knock down an elephant. Time to perform operations. Little by little, one by one, our colonists began to receive new hands, eyes, and other things. In general, this is a very good thing, because the more complete our fighters are, the more useful they are. Another fight between the colonists. I hope one day they will wise up and find a common language, because I'm already tired of crafting new armor for these masters of hand-to-hand combat. And here is the climax of this episode. In fact, I even thought about telling about it a little later, but it has already happened that the cards need to be revealed right now. A raid began with 6 mechanoids, and when I looked at their landing place, I realized that our little colonist had left the base and was right next to the iron monsters. I ordered him to run as fast as possible, but he was fried by a laser and killed by a well-aimed shot directly in the small body. It continued to burn while we defended our base from attack. Mechanoids were destroyed in a few seconds because they are not a danger to me at all, but our boy. He died simply because of his curiosity, died from a steel monster's shot directly in the back, died so that only ashes remained of him. My colonists couldn't believe it, their ray of hope now just a pile of ashes on the ground. Little by little, the colonists entered the base, and only the boy's parents remained near the place of the murder. They were also killed out by grief. Later, they also returned to the base with thoughts about how they should continue to live. And that's where I want to end this episode. Like, subscribe to the channel and comment on this video. Also check out other videos on my channel. Johny was with you. Goodbye.